with stories of courage.
This isn't just something I get to, like, tap out of.
Hope.
Having triplets.
And heart.
Why me?
The RPA hospital is still leading the way.
I'm here for a transplant, for a liver transplant.
Revolutionising medicine.
All right, robot's coming.
Press and hold the targeting button.
As it celebrates its 140th birthday.
You know, they always say in sickness and health, you know, this was the sickness and we got through it as a family.
Tonight on RPA, the 4 a.m. phone call
A little bit nervous.
that could transform
How you going, young fella?
an entire family.
12 months after your operation, 1 in 10 people are no longer with us.
New Aussie Brooks,
My face started going numb on this side.
mystery diagnosis.
What is it?
We're not sure what it is.
Wow, this is a lot.
And the decision
Your heart runs here and your big vessel, the aorta, runs round like that.
that may have saved Harry's life.
Sometimes the lining can split.
"41-year-old Canadian Brooke is new to Australia.
I've been living in Australia for about 5 months now. I love it. I love it. I live by the beach. I have an amazing job. I have an amazing community. Like, I wouldn't trade it. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
But no sooner had she arrived when things started to unravel.
I started feeling really, really crippling headaches, and they were really abnormal. They didn't feel the same as any other headache or migraine that I've ever had. It started to get worse, and I started to lose feeling in my face. My eyesight started to change in my right eye. Probably about 2 months ago, I ended up in emergency, and they did an MRI just to check for stroke and found what was the first diagnosis was an arachnoid cyst.
That first diagnosis was a huge relief for this new Aussie.
At that time, we weren't concerned about it because arachnoid cysts are often congenital. They've been in your body a long time. Many people have them. They don't grow. They're just there. So I left the hospital actually quite at peace. And on the car ride on the way home, we got a call from the neurosurgeon, and he said, "We're more concerned. Are you still at the hospital? You should stay there." That was definitely a confronting moment, and a moment that made me go, okay, like, what's going on with me right now?
Doctors have now advised Brooke that brain surgery is the only way to truly know what's going on.
I actually have something in my head that's causing potential damage. We don't know what it is. It could be cancer. It could not be, but we don't know. And in order to know, they have to cut out part of my brain. And you know, that doesn't really ever come as good news.
With her family 13,000 kilometres away, this is a frightening operation she'll have to face alone.
This isn't just something I get to, like, tap out of. You know, I'd love to say that it's gonna be over, you know, once the surgery's done and it's just gonna be done, but I don't know. So we'll take that wave when it comes.
4 weeks ago, new Aussie Brooke was diagnosed with a suspicious growth in her brain.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Dr. Wong.
How are you today?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
Today at RPA, Dr Johnny Wong will be taking her through her impending brain surgery.
So last time we spoke, you were telling me that you were initially having some headaches and some facial numbness.
Yeah, I started getting severe headaches, and my face started going numb on this side, on the right side. Hearing decreased, eye can't, like, inability to focus.
I'm definitely biased in saying the brain's the most important organ in the body. And a lot of it, we don't really understand how all the neurons are interconnected and what makes, you know, a person have certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain aspirations. When I look at the scans, the area here contains a lot of fluid.
Okay.
Okay. And usually when we see that, that's most consistent with an arachnoid cyst.
Okay.
But the thing that doesn't quite fit with the overall picture, it's not quite consistent, is that I would have expected the cyst to have been present in the scan 7 years ago.
Right.
And for something that is growing and enlarging, it could be a cystic type of brain tumour.
And how will you determine that?
We make a cut and go through the skull, and we'll go straight into this fluid area.
Okay.
We'll take some biopsies or samples along the cyst wall so that the pathologist can analyse that.
Okay.
I think the beauty of neurosurgery that you can make such a big difference to someone's life, but it's a double-edged sword. You can just as quickly hurt someone, and you can just as easily have a complication where, and they wake up, they have a stroke. And I think it's this high risk, high reward sort of specialty. So one of the things that I'll be concerned about will be vision, particularly in the top left-hand corner of your visual field. The other problem that I'm worried about is your speech. You're left-handed, and about half of left-handers have their speech centre on the right-hand side. And so if we were to disturb that, then there would be difficulty understanding or generating speech. I'm hoping that we're not going to be causing much deficits or disability from operating. The other thing that I didn't mention is that because the temporal lobe can be affected by seizures, that's another thing that we need to, I need to warn you about. But I think the knowledge of what it is vital to work out what the next steps would be for you.
Right, and so I guess the biggest thing we're waiting on is just the confirmation, what is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's that is the dilemma at the moment, that we're not sure what it is.
Wow, this is a lot.
It is a lot. But we'll get through it.
Brooke was recently diagnosed with a growth in her brain. The day for her major surgery has arrived. And to mark the occasion, she's gone for a completely new look.
I realized that they were going to shave part of my head, and I really didn't want a bad comb over. So I just feel it's going to be better for it to grow out now and then catch up, and then I'll be able to actually grow it out the rest of the way.
Hey, Brooke.
Hello.
I'm Chris Thompson, one of the anaesthetic doctors here.
Hi.
I'll be looking after you. How are you?
Good.
You okay?
Yeah.
Well, welcome here. This is where you'll be able to go to sleep and set aside all those concerns and just let me look after you.
We need to find out what the nature of this might be. This potentially could be a brain tumour. And the treatment for brain tumour obviously is very different to a benign congenital cyst. And so the prognosis for brain tumours is still pretty poor. That's my biggest concern, but it's better to know early rather than late. So now we've got the skull exposed, so we can make our bony opening. The preliminary steps to an operation, getting through the skull and then opening the membrane around the brain, all that is pretty much routine for me now. Excellent, and there we go. Let's keep the bone. We'll put that back in later. But there's always a critical part of an operation where there's a pressure point.
Dr. Wong will only know what he's dealing with after opening the dura, the milky membrane covering Brooke's brain.
Looks like an arachnoid cyst to me.
While the early signs are encouraging, only testing will determine if this mass contains any tumour.
We're able to preserve the brain tissue and still be able to make an opening deep down, right next to the brain stem, to allow the fluid to communicate. And I'm going to take this sample now, and just to make sure, verify there's no tumour component to it. This is a piece of bone we cut out in Brooke's skull, and for us to put this back into her skull, we'll put these little plates on. The most nerve-wracking part of my day is that 15 minutes or so when the patient is waking up. You don't know whether you've caused any harm, and you just don't know whether they're going to wake up with a deficit or with a stroke.
Hey, Brooke. Brooke, welcome back. We've done it.
Brooke's risky brain surgery is over.
Yeah, we're done. We're all good. Don't worry about a thing. Everything went perfectly, okay?
And 2 days later, Dr Johnny Wong is relieved to see she's come through unscathed.
Hello. Hey,
Hi,
Brooke.
Dr. Wong.
How are you doing?
Doing all right. How you
You
going?
all right?
Yeah.
Have you got much pain in your head?
Been having a lot,
I'm feeling a lot of pain. Yeah.
but I think everything's starting to wake up.
Starting to wake up. Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I was watching the RPA show and I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. That was my dream. I sometimes pinch myself that I'm here because I didn't think I'd get here.
And how do you think your face is feeling? Any changes?
My
or-
face is feeling, I can feel it now,
Okay, good.
which is a start, yeah.
And how do you think your speech is?
Speech is okay.
You can think of the words you want to say?
Yeah.
You can get them out pretty well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm just slower at everything. Slower
Yeah.
at walking, slower at eating, slower at
Yeah, it'll take some
talking.
time to bounce back. Yeah, okay.
So-
I have something to show you.
Okay.
Okay. You had a CT scan recently. So just to demonstrate to you, this was the MRI that you had done before the surgery, and that's a scan after the surgery.
Wow.
So you can see here that the cyst was much bigger,
Yeah,
and now it's half the size.
that's so good.
Okay. So the focus now is to just gradually recover from the surgery,
Yeah.
get back up on your feet, and once you feel a bit steadier and not in too much pain, we might be able to let you go home towards the end of the week or midway through the week. Just depends how you are the next few days.
It's great.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll catch up with you later on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Morning, Brooke.
6 days after her brain surgery, Dr Johnny Wong has arrived at Brooke's bedside with the all-important results from pathology.
So I have some news for you.
Yeah.
And the pathology results finally come through.
Okay.
Good news. It's an arachnoid cyst.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you don't have to worried about it. It's definitely confirmed to be an arachnoid cyst.
Benign. Completely.
Benign.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is the best news ever. Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to show you was some of the photos from the operation.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the cyst. You can see how it's got a silver lining across it
Yeah.
and really clear fluid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm quietly confident that will be all you need. Okay, and that you wouldn't we wouldn't have to come back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great news.
And the news keeps getting better. Brooke's friends have flown in from Canada and are waiting outside for a very special reunion.
Exactly 6 months yesterday, Jenna Lee saw me on a plane to start an adventure over to Australia, you know, and now I get to see her in a few minutes. And, you know, after having brain surgery and coming through this journey, and new beginning, it's a new beginning. So, pretty excited about that.
Hey, look, you've got your vest on. You made it. Thank you for being here. I love you. Of course I'm here. I know. Oh, that hurt. Sorry.
Putting my head against the right.
Oh, let's see. Hey.
I don't have to wear this
you look so
anymore.
badass.
I know.
Really well.
It's pretty funny, hey?
Yeah. You look great.
Thanks. Life has really changed over the last 6 months.
Here, you're on the side.
Yeah.